Come on in the room. Welcome back. I know y'all haven't seen me in a while over here on Crown by Kenzie, but if you've been paying attention, I've been spending most of my time over there on cocktails with Kenzie. But I've decided to transition back over here and give you guys a little something, something. I didn't want to forget about y'all. Just so much has been going on. But anyway, a little housekeeping before we get into it. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell, the notification bell, so that way you know when I post another live video or I just post a video in general. Okay. So tonight we're going to be discussing the Real Housewives season 10, I'm sorry, Real Housewives of Potomac season 10 reunion part 1. And it seems we're off to a good start. Make sure you guys drop down in the comment and let me know what you feel about it, right? So, without further ado, again, welcome back and let's get into it. All right, so the reunion, if you're paying attention, the reunion episode, it starts off with them showing a video montage pretty much of the evolution of Dr. Wendy Acefo and her time on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, y'all know it was coming because everybody, if you've been keeping up, you know that Dr. Acefo, Wendy, and her husband Eddie were arrested a few months back, and there are some alleged fraud allegations. All right, keep that in mind. Everything is alleged, but we're not going to even get in far into that. So anyway, you guys remember Dr. Wendy and her husband was arrested. Their mugshot was showing everywhere. So with this video montage at the beginning, they started off after that with, I mean, the headlines came up. They put a screenshot of the headlines, and then they got down to some unreleased footage, some raw footage of Dr. Wendy and her husband Eddie having a sit down and somewhat discussing, I would say, as much as they can legally discuss their arrest. And so in that scene you hear Dr. Wendy, and let me just point out one thing that really broke my heart. Dr. Wendy and her husband and Eddie, he said that when I guess he saw her in there and she was when they were in jail, she was able to use the phone and she called her daughter Cameron and Wendy broke down, I guess. But anyway, Wendy was saying on the other end of that phone conversation that Cameron unaware of what was really going on because when they were arrested, let me take it back. When they were arrested, the kids were not at home, and Dr. Wendy and she was at home sleeping. Eddie was there. And so she had to call on her mom and her sister to go and pick up her kids from school because they were, there at the time of the arrest. All right. So once that happened, hold on one second. I'm sorry, I kind of lost my place there. Okay. So anyway, once she had them go, she said that she spoke to Cameron and Cameron was saying, "Mommy, you'll be home. I'll see you tomorrow, later on," whatever she said. But that was just heartbreaking because that girl is so little. She has no idea what's even going on with her parents, which is something really, really big. And again, you guys remember, is due to some fraud allegations of identity and using credit cards, using fictitious names, so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, that was just sad. We did learn that Dr. Wendy and Eddie, they had an overnight stay that comes a bit further along. But Wendy did pose the question: did Eddie think the arrest would hurt their marriage? Because according to her, she's not going to be the same person. Well, that's yet to be seen after watching part one. So let's get into it. Um, so they start off with the ladies all in their dressing rooms, as most reunions do. Y'all know they start off with them coming out, and the theme was the theme color is red, so everybody's dressed in red, which is nice. So as they show everybody backstage, Ashley goes. Her dressing room is next to the Grand Dame Karen dressing room, but of course, Karen is not there yet. But with that being said, her name being on the door, Ashley pretty much knows, okay, she's scheduled to come here. So Giselle is first to enter the stage, and Andy lets her know immediately that she's going to be sitting next to Wendy, because y'all know historically Giselle is always first chair, but this time this season she is not. That's something else to talk about. Okay, whole different topic. So anyway, I mean, Andy lets her know that, and Giselle says, am I gonna like have to hold her hand? To me, that seemed funny as hell. Not funny, haha, funny, but made me side eye her because y'all had this new budding relationship, and supposed to be such good friends. But for her to say something like that to me, I don't know about you guys, but that was shady as hell. What do you mean? Are you supposed to hold her hand? You're supposed to do whatever a friend does that comes naturally to them in the moment, whatever your friend is going through. No, we're going to use that word really, really lightly because honestly, I don't believe it. But whatever your friend is going through at that moment, you do whatever. There's no written handbook on what you should do. There's no cues, nothing Andy should have to tell you what you should do. So that was shade as hell to me. But anyway, we know Giselle and we know how she is presented and shown on this show. I'll say that. I don't know how the woman is in person, but we'll say on this show. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, I'm having a nice glass of my favorite Cabernet Sauvignon. So if you have a little something out there, enjoy and cheers to you. All right, so mm, all right, that was good. Much needed for a long day. So, after that, all the ladies entered the stage, and then Ashley, hold on one second. Okay. This is my first time using Riverside for a live, and so I'm trying to get used to it all. So don't mind me. I'm gonna have to take a second and try to figure everything out, but mm, we'll get to it. So anyway, so after that, um, all right. So yeah. So after that, all the ladies enter the stage, and Stacy tells Andy, Andy's asked her who her dress is made by. She says a Nigerian designer, and here goes Ashley. She just had to chime in. She could not resist that it's the same dress that she wore last year. But then when Stacy said something about it, then here she goes, "Oh, it was just a joke. I was just saying." No, you should not have said anything. Why even feel the need to bring it up? Because you're trying to be funny. Let's just call a spade a spade. You're trying to be funny, so no need to even bring it up. Whatever, Ashley. So after that, they get into the welcoming. Wendy is the first to no, she speaks, and she says she's unsure of herself. They ask her a question pretty much of, how this season has changed her and from the beginning. And she was saying that when she first joined the show, she was unsure of herself, so on and so forth. Which we did see. I've always said that, okay? So let me tell you this. I've always said that I wouldn't call it unsure. Those are not the words I use, but I can definitely see the transformation from the first season Dr. Wendy was on to the season now. It's like she went from collegiate professor, buttoned up, well spoken, very smart. It's like from then to now, she's went to, with all due respect, video girl, um, social media, whatever, y'all know what I mean. Video girl, she just, I don't know, her dress and her hair, all of that has really changed since the first season. Now, don't get me wrong. I say that, but I also do say it's nothing wrong with change, because a lot of us has changed, whether that be for the good or for the bad. But for Dr. Wendy, that was a very dramatic change. And, first it went from her having her plastic surgery, which I'm not knocking. You have the right to do whatever makes you feel better. But then it's just like she's kind of went to this whole social media influencer. You know, the girls we see on Instagram, they all wearing the same hairdos, the same outfits, same revealing outfits. And in some parts of this season, I kind of felt like, wait a minute, Dr. Wendy, you acting kind of less than smart as we know you are. Does that make sense? She's acting a little bit less than, I don't know, when it comes to her smarts. I saw something this season where she was asking about opening a champagne bottle, and she was acting very, very dense, like she didn't know how to open it. And that's like, wait a minute, you're a political commentator, college professor at one of the most prestigious colleges in the world, John Hopkins, where she was. Let me say that. But why are you acting so dumb? Like, what's going on? And I hate to use the word dumb, but so let me go back and take it to less than smart. I just didn't like that. Um, I just didn't like it. It was not becoming of her. But I digress, and we won't continue to go on with that. But so yeah, again, we have seen the evolution in her. So when Andy asked her about her case, of course we all knew it was going to come up and they were going to ask, but she kept it very, very light, which I think is very, very smart. And maybe I think part two or part three, Karen's going to tell her something about keeping her mouth closed, which is very, very smart, especially in a serious case like this, because whether you think so or not, they are watching and they're just waiting for you to slip up and say the wrong thing. So I'm assuming at the advice of her attorney, she's keeping it very, very minimal, the information that she's going to put out there regarding the case. Again, which is very, very smart. So cheers to that, Dr. Wendy. Um, and so Giselle gets into asking her about her wig. Now, let me ask you this. Why, Giselle? Why? First things first. This situation is too serious for you to try to take underhanded, messy ass digs at Wendy if she's your friend. Okay, what does it matter about her wig? The situation is way too serious for you to even bring something up like that. We all remember the mugshot. You guys remember the cricket ponytail, crooked ponytail. Sorry, I said cricket, crooked ponytail. Yeah, no, the smile on her face, cute. But you know, why even bring that up? Especially when your wigs have not been the best. Let us not get into that. Okay. Um, But so Wendy tells them, and Andy asks her about the smile on her face and whatever. And Wendy tells them that the photographer at the jail that was taking her mugshot, he was being playful or being nice because he understood the heaviness of the situation that she was going through. And he was telling her, "You sure you want that to be your picture? Like, let's redo it. Let's redo it." Now, let me tell you something about me. When it's something that serious, I don't trust nobody, not even the damn photographer, okay? Because he could be setting you up. He could be setting you up to take that picture to make an insinuation of you're not taking this situation serious. I think it's all a scheme. And maybe one that Todd set up. Who knows? But I think it's all a scheme. So no, when he would have said, let's take another one. No, I would have took it very, very serious to let y'all know that I'm not playing. Because if you read some of the blogs and some of the news articles, they are tending to use that mugshot against her. So no, I just would not have trusted that. Not me. I mean, she can do whatever she want to do, but I didn't trust her. But Giselle points out after Dr. Wendy talking about her experience in jail for those 24 hours, Giselle points out that she's talking like it was a day in the park. Now, she's right. She's absolutely right. She was really playing it down. But see, now I believe, and this goes back to the question in the beginning that Dr. Wendy said that she would never be the same again. But to me, now it seems like you're the same Dr. Wendy again. The newer one, not the old Dr. Wendy, because I think the old Dr. Wendy from her first season would have taken this very, very differently. The mugshot would not have been that. You would not be discussing it the way you are. I mean, it would be pulled up tight and very, very serious, almost like political commentator. How she was in the beginning. So no, that answered the question for me. It's like, yeah, you're still gonna be the same. Because if y'all notice, she was talking very, very, yeah, and things and that and that. And that. She was talking like that, but then it picked up and it sounded like the new Dr. Wendy. Okay. So I'm with Giselle on that one. It sounded like a day walk in the park, and it just should not have been that. Then Ashley states her number one fear pretty much is going to jail. That's terrifying for her. Girl, bye. We don't care what your number one fear is, especially not the way you shaded Dr. Wendy. You made it seem like a joke, but we'll get to that. So we don't care. So shut up, Ashley, okay? All right, so on to Stacy. Y'all knew it was coming. Stacy, Stacy, Stacy. So they flash back to Stacy this season. The divorce, the TJ rumor, the whole cannabis situation. Cannabis, when Giselle asked her, was she starting a new line? Happy Stacy to compete with Dr. Wendy and her husband, Eddie. Eddie, Acepho's cannabis line, she denied it last year. TJ coming in on the reunion last year, or calling in to the guys at the reunion and stating that he was paid to be on the show, that whole situation, and then the whole divorce. Everything according to them, Stacey, is a lie, 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 lie. Now, while I do like Miss Stacey, I do like her a whole lot. The flashbacks didn't help you. It did kind of give them leverage to the things that they were saying. Okay. Yeah, the flashbacks did not help her whatsoever. Um, but this is the thing for me. Why not address the things that they did say about her that she was allegedly lying about? That later came out, especially like the divorce situation. They kept saying, she wasn't divorced and she was lying about that. Why not address that it did come out on TMZ that she is divorced? And hold those ladies accountable. That's what I was looking to see. Like, hold Giselle and Ashley accountable, because y'all lie on her. Y'all put out these rumors about her that she was this liar, and you have yet to address it and to say, hey, listen, I'm sorry for saying that about you. Even though some things did come off as if she was being less than truthful about them, they still in a sense assassinated her character all season long. So they should have been held a little bit more accountable, in this reunion. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for, but it didn't happen. So I guess it was too much like, right, hey, what can we expect? Okay, so moving on. Let me see. Let me pull the chat real quick. Let me see. Who like number one? Okay, I don't know what that means. Woohoo! Like, okay. Woohoo! Like number one. Sorry, I had a dumb moment. Welcome, hi Lord, Mike One. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. All right, so let's get back to it. All right, so where we at again? Excuse me, guys. My first time on Riverside, so it's not working out the way I thought it was on the live, but we're gonna make it do what it do. All right, so then they go away. I mean, they come up to Tia and her situation with Stacy. To me, this whole thing just was pointless. It was not interesting, just like it was in the season. It was not very interesting, the whole Tia and Stacy beef. Like, Tia, for what? You literally jumped to me, in my opinion. You literally jumped on the bandwagon to have an issue with Stacey because Giselle and Ashley, the popular girls, had an issue with her. So you went and you found a reason to have an issue with her. It made no sense to me. And one thing that stood out to me, what does she mean by she married up? Stacey pretty much now is so prim and proper because she married up, because she married a Caucasian guy. That's what you mean married up? Well, you're trying to call her out on something, but ma'am, I think you're about to call yourself out on something because I need for you to, and it should have been expounded upon. What do you mean she married up? That's crazy, but whatever. Um, and then goes into her saying she Tia then goes into saying that Stacy is because she mentioned that she was well traveled and traveled to all these different countries. She That's an accomplishment. What do you mean? Is that an accomplishment? Yes, it's an accomplishment, especially for a little black girl from Detroit, Michigan that came from humble beginnings. Hell yeah, it's an accomplishment. But I guess it's not for you. That's something that you could downplay because you're an African princess with a British accent. Get the hell out of here with that, okay? Hell yeah, it's an accomplishment. What you thought? Hell yeah, I would brag on it every chance I got. Yes, I would brag on it. It's an accomplishment. It sure is. I'll tell you a million times. See, that's the thing. They don't, and it's some of our people, I'm telling you, some of our people, when you mention that you've done something, they are so quick to tear you down. And we're gonna get into something else similar to that later on in this episode. Hey Lizzie, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. I'm trying to start it back again, girl. So stay with me. Um, we're talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. So yeah. So thank you for watching, Lizzie. I appreciate you. All right. So yeah, let's get back into it. So yeah, that to me, what are you really trying to say? But again, go away from me with this Apollo. I'm so over this with Tia. You know what? Let me keep it real, y'all. I really hope they don't bring Tia back next season. I don't. I hope they don't bring her back. She's boring. She's a bandwagon person. She jumped on Giselle and Ashley's bandwagon because she really didn't have an issue with Stacy. And when Giselle said, when Stacy pointed out that the only reason why she came to meet up with her and her daughter Arabella and her ex-husband, now boyfriend, Timo, the only reason why she met up was to be messy and take it back to her leader or her master, Giselle. True. She did. She did. She did exactly what you just accused her of. She did. So we're not even gonna try to pretend like she did. You did. Yeah, you may have tried to start off with the right intentions to get to know her, but before it was all said and done, you got back in your car just like you did Angel, and you were ready to call Giselle and spill the tea to her. So let's stop playing. And y'all know, keep in mind, it is edited, so we don't know what was edited out. But I do believe, yeah, she couldn't wait to go back and tell it. So, girl, get away from me with this. It's BS. So, anyway, now as she started to be called out and Stacey handling her ass, then she want to try to throw in Chris Samuel and Monique, which again, in the beginning when Monique came on the show, which I think they brought her on here to try to be messy because they assumed that Stacey had something going on with Chris Samuels and it was going to be an issue that that can drum up more drama. She want to try to throw that in there. It didn't work because she already said she really does not care. If it's not about her kids, she don't care. So it didn't work. Nice try. Go away. Let's move on from her, Tia. But then now they come into Giselle brings up the whole they bring up the whole cannabis situation. And my whole thing is Miss Angel. She did say, did y'all catch it? I don't know if y'all caught it, but I caught it. She said, I don't see why she cares. Because they were trying to call Stacey out for being a liar. Of course, you guys know they brought it up last year. Giselle asked her at the reunion, I heard you was getting this cannabis line like Happy Eddie. And Stacey pretty much said, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, again, it goes back to optics. Miss Stacey, that did look like that didn't work in your favor. The footage, it did not work in your favor because it made you seem like a liar. However, when Stacey explained it this season, it does make sense. Why would I speak on something that has not happened yet? Simple. Second thing, she does not owe you guys that. Y'all are not her friends. She don't owe y'all to tell you her business, even though it's for the show. Still, you asked her in a very disingenuous way. So why would she explain that to you? I wouldn't tell you ish when it came to my business endeavors. You'll see it when it happens. So she did right. But again, Stacey, it goes back to positioning of the video. You pretty much seem less, you seem disingenuous. You seem less than honest about it when asked about it. So um yeah, yeah, I get it. So anyway, Kiana wants to chime in. I mean, there's nothing else to be said about that. Kiana chimes in, and my whole thing with Kiana, ma'am, here's another one. I want her to go away too. I don't want her to be on there either. I think her time is up. She really brought nothing but the same storyline about her boyfriend trying to marry her, and that seemed fake this season. So I want her to go away. I'm over it. She just seemed very, very mean this season. Like she was just trying to she was a bandwagon one too. Just like Tia, bandwagon, trying to be with the popular girls and jump on whoever she felt like, except her friend Angel. But yeah, she was another bandwagon too. So I was over her. Like, girl, you go away too. I'm tired of it. Okay. But then du- 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 du. So yeah, go away. I feel like y'all remember when I can't remember what season it was of Housewives of Atlanta, when Kim, even though it was wrong for Kim to say this, okay, full disclosure, but I'm gonna use it for Kiana. Girl, just sit there and be quiet and keep your mouth shut. Okay. We have nothing for you this season. Nothing whatsoever. So, next thing, they go into the angel flashback and the catfish comment that nearly broke the internet. You're right. um, so they go into Angel. Angel did state that she has purchased a home in Potomac. Y'all remember the whole eviction thing, her renting a house that she wanted it to look like, allegedly, she wanted it to look like $40,000 and only pay $1,000 a month in Potomac. You're right. I don't believe it. But if y'all want to hear my full breakdown on that, go on over to my other YouTube page, Cocktails with Kenzie, and that's Cocktails with a K, and of course, Kenzie with the K, Cocktails with Kenzie podcast. You can also check out that podcast on all podcast platforms, as well as make sure to visit my website, www.crowned, KrowndbyKenzie.com, and you'll find that blog over there, and you will find that episode where I discuss that podcast episode where I discuss the whole angel wanting the 40,000, a house that looks like $40,000, and she was only paying 40,000. I mean, paying $1,000 a month rent. I don't believe it, but yeah, check that out. All right, and I'm on all podcast platforms. So anyway, we get into that. And Wendy checks her regarding, Why it seemed like she didn't have smoke for Tia when Tia left her house. And like I said, she probably did with Stacy. Hurry up and dial Giselle on the phone to download her on all the tea. She did that with Angel. She went to the girl house when she was allegedly being evicted and packing up her boxes. So as soon as she left, she got in the car and could not help herself but to call Giselle her master, according to Stacy, and give her all the feedback, the gossip about it later on for them to use it against her. But Wendy checked her on that. Wendy called her out good. Why it seemed like you didn't have that smoke for Tia, but you got it for me. And Angel, cheers and hats off to her. She did state that she could see Wendy's point, you know, um, and she apologized for that. Wendy also asked her about, did she recognize from watching the show back that her whole demeanor when it came to her quote unquote friend for a decade, Kiana, saying that she chin checked her versus, when Wendy brought it up. She went hard at Wendy, but she didn't give that same energy to Kiana. She was quick to accept it and move on from it. But Wendy, who did not even say it, she just went hard at her, and that was the start of their beef. Okay. And so, did y'all notice how Kiana really chimed in and was trying to cut her off, trying to cut Angel off? To me, it seemed like she did not want her to make amends with Wendy because Angel was trying to apologize. Whether she was wrong or whether she was right, she was still trying to apologize and make it right. But it seemed like Kiana stepped in so quick and was trying to cut her off and did not want her to say anything. Um, or resolve the issue with Wendy. And then Wendy was like, Angel is talking, and she was like, now I'm talking. No, now I'm talking. Just cut her off. Like, wait a minute, Angel. I understand that's your friend and all, but at the end of the day, you should have went ahead and stopped her, chin checked her ass right back, and asked her like, "Who you cutting off? I'm grown. Let me finish what I was about to say. Then you can speak." But it was like she cut her off. To me, it kind of gave off a power dynamic. And then also it gave off, no, don't apologize to her. Don't try to make friends with her. No, no, no. We're gonna keep this beef going because this was gonna keep us relevant on the show. That's what it gave off to me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay. Let me check the chat. Okay, nobody over there. All right, you guys will be part of the replay crew. It's all good. This is still practice for me. It's been a long time since I left y'all. So, hey, I'm trying to get used to it all over again and get used to Riverside, like I said before. So, yeah, so then Giselle, they get into the whole catfish thing, and Giselle, according to her, she thought that Angel, she heard all the talk about this new girl Angel coming on the show, and she saw pictures, but according to her, the picture that she was presented with was that picture that they show on the show, and it was not Angel because it was heavily fine to, photoshopped. So she didn't think that was Angel. So when she met Angel in person, she went to the producers, according to her, Miss Giselle. She went to the producers and was like, who is this Angel lady? Who is this Angel lady? I haven't met her. And the producers were like, Giselle, stop playing. You already met her. But according to her, she didn't know who she was. Stop lying, Giselle. You trying to justify that BS that you were on. Stop lying. You knew exactly who she was. You were trying to be funny. Let's just call a spade a spade, okay, ma'am? Call a spade a spade. Um, and so yeah, I don't believe that whatsoever. Um, but even though I wanted to say this too, even though Angel apologized to Wendy, do y'all think it was real, or do y'all think it was because of all the heat and the backlash she faced on the blogs this season? Because if y'all are not aware, Miss Angel caught a lot of shit for her actions on this season. She caught a lot of. They even went so far to. They even went so far. The viewers and fans. They went so far as to report in this lady's business, making what is it called? The reviews, putting out bad reviews on her business. They have never been to her nature business in Colorado. They went and they made it was horrible. And let me tell you something. Now that she could have been a shitty person on this season, which I think she was. I think she was planning to come on and be this big boss and get close to Giselle, and thought, the popular girls were gonna be her friends, and she was gonna come with that whole wag, wives and girlfriends of NFL players attitude, and look down and be nasty on certain people that she did not deem worthy to be in her space. That whole mean girl shit. And I think that's the reason that plays into the reason why she was the way she was with even Stacy in the beginning. Stacy and Wendy is because she was planning on doing that. But unbeknownst to her, it flipped on her. And Giselle wasn't that big sister to her that she thought she was. But so I posed the question to think, was it even real? Was her apologies even real? I guess we don't know. If she get another season, we'll see. But to me, no, she did it because she got caught up and she received a lot of backlash. I think she's a sweet girl. Let me preface it by saying that. I think Angel is or can be a sweet girl if you know her and if you're friends with her. But I do think she has, to me, she seems like she has it in her to be that not so nice girls to people that not so nice girl to people that she does not know, and she could potentially deem unworthy to be around her, especially maybe if you don't have what she has or you're not popular enough for her. I think she may, or let's just say she comes off as that type of girl. Okay. Maybe a sweet woman, beautiful, whatever. She's pretty girl. Let me just say that. And the whole catfish of it all, the whole um photoshopping. Who doesn't add a little face tune? Not me, but I said it and we're gonna stick with it. But who doesn't add a little face tune in or Photoshop into their pictures? Oh well, it's the way of the world. All them heifers on there do it. So why even try to call this girl out for it? I mean, she's still a beautiful lady, even though she may okay. She's a beautiful lady again. But y'all know that whole thing with her saying Dr. Wendy came with asshole lips and Forrest Whitaker eyes. Dr. Wendy tore her ass up when she said that she looked like James Earl Jones. Now I tried to find a picture for y'all to show y'all, but they put the side by side, and I'd be damned if they were if she was not lying. Dr. Wendy hit that head on. She did. She looked exactly like James Earl Jones, like twins. Like that could be her father. Dr. Wendy got her ass with that. Good job, Dr. Wendy. Good job. You know what? Good job, Dr. Wendy. Good job. She tore her ass up. I like that. But it seems like Dr. Wendy did hold her accountable for the things she did this season, which I really, really liked, and I appreciate that. And Andy said, now, hilarious. Andy said the people are calling them mad and calling her and Kiana every time they appear on the camera. They were madness and sadness. They ain't lying. That was true. Kiana was mad, like I said before, and this girl Angel, she was sad all the time. Every time he turned around, and the one thing about Angel that I did not respect or like, Angel, Angel, in front of the girl, she was just so sad and crying about everything, or just calling her husband Bobby. But when it came to her confessionals, or when she was sitting with other people, like her sister or her husband, she was quick to tear their ass up. But she wouldn't say it to their face. And I think that's what a lot of the viewers, even myself, that's what we were hoping for this season. Like maybe her first or second episode, we kind of gave her grace. But okay, girl, by the third episode, tell their ass up. Don't say it behind their back. Tell their ass up in their face. That's what makes great reality TV. That's what's gonna sustain you, not your camera confessionals or what you tell people on the outside. No, say it to their face. When you have the issue, address it right then and there. It worked for Stacy. Or shut it down and don't let them see you sweat. Again, it worked for Stacy. It worked out like a charm for her. Y'all saw everything that she got. Cover in magazines, voted like one of the best housewives, and whatever else Stacy got, whatever accolades she got. It worked for Stacy. So you should have either addressed it right then and there or shut the shit down head on. Because it didn't, you calling your husband and talking in confessionals, that makes sense. Whatever. But it's true. Madness and sadness. Perfect name. They addressed Ashley bringing catfish, and again, you guys, that was a running theme throughout the season. Catfish, catfish, catfish. Ashley brought catfish to the potluck, and then Ashley tried to play it off by saying, "No, it's not that deep. It was a joke." Ashley, get your ass away from it because you know it wasn't a joke. You were being a mean girl, and you wanted to use that against her. But let's talk about how many things that the people could have used against you over the years. Okay, including your ex-husband. Shall we? I don't think you want to do that. It's so crazy that between Ashley and Giselle, they have made it their goal and their best bet to try to hold everybody accountable and to really go at these people so hard. But the things that have happened to them over the years, they did not want people even speaking of it. They didn't want to address it. They actually can't talk about it because it was a legal situation. Well, that situation with Michael and allegedly touching that cameraman ass is over now. So let's talk about it. Bring that back up. Let's talk about it. Giselle, the whole situation with your ex-husband. Let's talk about it because when what's her name? Um, damn, y'all know who I'm talking about. Samuels, Monique. When Monique brought that binder for the reunion that season, had all those receipts in there, she tore your ass up and you didn't want to answer anything too much or nothing. So let's talk about it. Let's hold y'all accountable. Let's talk about what's really going on in y'all life this season, because your lives this season, because this whole Ashley with that little boy, that shit was not for real. Okay, that was not for real. That was only for TV, allegedly. But in my opinion, it was only for TV. So anyway, they move on to Wendy and Ashley, and then they flash back to when Dr. Wendy got arrested. And the news came out. Do y'all remember where y'all was when that news came out and how y'all felt? Drop down in the comments and let me know how y'all felt when y'all first seen the whole Dr. Wendy been arrested. I know for me, I was shocked. I could not believe it. I was really, really shocked by that. Not Dr. Wendy, but hey, shit happens, right? But they brought up when the news came out and Ashley was allegedly filming and she was at an event, Tisha. Um, she brought up the whole Zen win and she said Zen win is in the pen trying to make a joke, and she was smiling about it like a damn Cheshire cat. And then she tried to come out. Um, she tried to say on the reunion now that she didn't think it was real and maybe it was a joke. You here we go again. Trying to play it down and say, "Oh, you thought it was a joke." No, you didn't. You were trying to be funny and you were trying to have a moment. When your ass got the backlash, then you tried to come back now, and you know Dr. Wendy about to tap that ass like she just did. Um, oh girl over here. And so you ready, you're trying to come back and say, "Oh, it was Joe." But no, Dr. Wendy's still gonna tap that ass. And then so Dr. Wendy said, she got additional information that Ashley actually had a hidden. Oh, I'm so getting so tied up on my words. Jeez, that Ashley had a hidden agenda against her, and so that's when Ashley said, and I quote, Dr. Wendy came in with this air, and she was trying to villain vilify her accomplishments. Now, y'all, don't try to come at me because I'm getting all tired up on my words tonight because I'm just nervous because I have not done this in a while. And I'm trying to make sure I bring you guys the absolute best content. So don't try to come at me for my words, but I'm going to have to come at Ashley for this one. She was trying to vilify her accomplishments. How do you do that? I don't think vilify was the word she was actually looking for. I don't think so. But Dr. Wendy did hit the nail right on the head when she says, that's not a me problem, that's a you problem. Because here's the thing, and this is real life. When you when we as people tend to do things that other people may not have done, and we go to them to talk about it or to tell them certain things that we've done, if they're a very insecure person, done or either doing, if they're a very insecure person, they would tend to think that you're trying to weaponize your accomplishments against them. They'll tend to feel like you're bragging because maybe they're not in that place that you are. They have not accomplished what you have accomplished, or they have not obtained certain things that you've obtained. So they tend to think that way. So Ashley, yeah, Dr. Wendy was right. You told more about how you feel versus how she feels. Okay. That's a you problem, not a her problem. So then Ashley tries to come back with her one accomplishment is with the social, she got a social security number. So I guess she's trying to insinuate that Dr. Wendy, because she's hit with these alleged fraud cases, that she somehow how has multiple social security numbers. Well, I ain't hear that. And we're not gonna put that out there, okay, Ashley? So as far as this point, part one of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, we're gonna say this it never happened. So go on away with that, okay? Now, part two, if you bring it and you bring the receipts, hey, we're gonna go with that. But as of right now, we ain't going with that, okay? And we're gonna move along. All right. So next week, guys, next week, part two episode, Real Housewives of Potomac, season 10. Jassy will be joining Monique Samuels, and I think maybe the Grand Dame might join, maybe towards the end. Y'all know how they like to do cliffhangers. So we'll get into that when that happens. Again, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell so that way you know when I go live. I post a video. Make sure you guys also go over to my Crown by Kenzie. Go to my Crown by Kenzie website, okay? www.crownbykenzie. On that website, you guys can find my podcast. You can find the links to the podcast. You can find my podcast YouTube page where you'll also get audio and video. I post there one time a week. I have a blog on there. You guys can go and comment on the blog on my website. There's also a space on there for Kenzie's Royal Court, which is a segment on my weekly podcast that I'm going to be answering your questions, whatever they may be. You send me a question, I give you advice. You can choose to remain anonymous or you can choose to have your name or say your name. Either way, it works for me. But make sure you guys submit your questions over there. And again, you can find all of that on my website, www.crownbykenzie and crownbykenzie.com. Make sure you subscribe to Cocktails with Kenzie YouTube page as well. All right, Married to Medicine. Let's go on. So the girls over at Married to Medicine, they're entering day 3 of the girls' trip to Miramar, Florida. And they're going on a sunset cruise. We all like sunset cruises, right? We all do. I do. I've been on a few. Very, very nice. Hold on, just trying to look at something, y'all. If you're in here, just make sure you go ahead and comment and let me know you're here. Make sure you like, share, all of the above. I just said it. But yeah, let me know if you're here. Let me know where you're from and who you are. All right. So Um, Let me tell y'all something. One of the funniest things on this episode, the boat flashbacks, that damn that took me out. That was funny. The different boats that these girls have taken over the years, from the small boat to it was a mess. Okay, that took me out. And then when Dr. Contessa, when they walked up to the pier and Dr. Contessa pointed out that small ass boat and said, "Here's our boat," I was like, "Oh my god, damn it, Contessa!" Sorry, we're not gonna call her Contessa. Not this, not this season. Dr. Contessa. Side note, she is one beautiful lady. Okay. Beautiful. Now her fashions are not on point. Her fashions are not on point. But she is a very beautiful, statuesque lady. Okay. Woman. Beautiful. Okay. Spirit is beautiful too. Okay. But she's a beautiful lady. Anyway, when they walked up to those boats, I definitely fell out and said, "No, please, Contessa, please let this not be the boat." But anyway, they had a yacht and it was big, it was very, very nice. So good shot. Now, when they got to the boat, Toya came on there and she told the bartender she didn't know what to expect, and she had brought her own tequila because she didn't know if they were going to have it, and she was not drinking vodka. Y'all remember from past seasons, Toya, when she drinks vodka, she gets wild, she gets loose, she giggly, she fell off a boat. She's just crazy as hell. So, in my opinion, I actually like the vodka Toya. She needs to stick around. They should have gave her a little vodka. But anyway, the girls are on the boat, the women are on the boat, and then the guys meet up back in Atlanta. And poor Dr. Scott. Y'all know I like Dr. Scott. Dr. Scott has glaucoma, and I think he had a eye surgery, so he's using, he has sunglasses on, and Curtis is helping him, and so that was nice. I like Dr. Scott, so whatever. Let me tell y'all something. I know Dr. Damon is so over, whether it be the men or no, especially the men. I know he is so over them bringing up his wife, Dr. Heavenly. I know he is over it. That's his wife. Okay. Y'all stop even bringing it to him. He's not going to entertain it. He's not going to go against his wife. He's not going to discuss any of it. Okay. I understand that. Hold on. Oh, okay. Thought my cameras were off. Okay. And so I understand that King brought it up and he was talking about the whole how Quar was upset, or had her feelings about Toya coming to Dr. Heavenly's campaign fundraiser or whatever it was, her town hall, and saying, how, and then it was brought up how Toya, is not very supportive of Dr. Heavenly. And then Dr. Eugene said, well, it was enough for Toya to even be there, because especially where her and Heavenly are at in their relationship, and just the fact that she took time out of her day to even show up, it was a lot. Stop bringing Heavenly up. Stop. Listen, talk about y'all stuff. Find something interesting that you guys, you know what I think would have been a great segment for them, the guys. It would have been to talk about their kids and their wives. Y'all remember the situation a few episodes ago with the whole Dr. Simone and her son Michael and him being entitled? That's another episode of my podcast, Cocktails with Kenzie, the podcast, YouTube, KrowndbyKenzie.com. Y'all go check out that episode, okay? Like, subscribe, share, give me some feedback, comment. All right. So yeah, I think that would have been a great conversation for the guys to have, because the women, yeah, it would have been great to hear how the men really felt about entitled kids. That would have been a great conversation. So yeah, I think they missed the mark on that one. Stop talking about the women. Talk about the guy stuff, okay? Makes it more interesting, because then you get both perspectives, how the women feel about the situation, how the men feel about it. And that's what I want to see. I want to see how the men really feel about it. Because some others do have entitled kids, and they have not, especially with Dr. Heavenly, she have not shied away from the fact that her kids may be a bit entitled. Okay. So I would just be very, very interested to see how the men felt about that. So find something else to talk about, guys. Okay. I know Dr. Damon over that. So anyway, so while they're, they reflect on that and so on and so forth. But then back to the girls, they're on the boat now, and Dr. Contessa reflects and says how everybody is getting along, and how they started off bad. With y'all know Dr. Heavenly didn't show up until the next day because her and Dr. Simone had a falling out, and Dr. Simone says that Dr. Heavenly allegedly did not feel safe around her. But they, on the previous episode, they made up, and everything is so called good. Everything is all good now. So we think. Well, Dr. Heavenly kisses Simone, and I don't think she intentionally tried to kiss her on her mouth, but I think she tried to kiss her on her face. But because she kept moving, it hit her mouth. Whatever. But in that moment, Dr. Simone made clear that she was not over it. So I guess it was not resolved. Okay. She's just going along to get along. But if you're paying attention up into current and on the blogs, yeah, Simone still ain't over it because she's just trying to tear Heavenly up in the blogs. Okay. Which I will say is not right, because Simone tried to say that she did not like that Heavenly used the words, said that she felt unsafe around Simone on the last episode. That's according to Simone. She said that she did not like the words that Heavenly used, being saying that she felt unsafe, she felt threatened, whatever have you, because of her practice, her status as a doctor, and she felt like it could hurt her or ruin her career. But in my opinion, you saying very disparaging and making very disparaging remarks and saying different things about Dr. Heavenly, you don't think it could ruin her career? Because I know they like to try to sometimes play down that she's not a doctor because she is a dentist, but she is. She's a doctor of dentistry. Okay, so let's get that straight. But also, when it comes to her political journey, that's still her job. It may not pay as much as her dentistry, but it still is her job. And so with you and Toya making disparaging remarks and comments about her, why while she's on this journey, you don't think that's gonna hurt her job? Think about that. So how can you try to call her out when you're doing the exact same thing? But because you don't take what she's doing serious, you feel like it's not, you can do whatever you want to do, but you take your job as being more serious, a little bit more serious than hers is. But she can feel that way about your job. So hey, it is what it is. All is fair. So anyway, they get into Heavenly, talking about playing games, and Heavenly said, yeah, she was down for it to play games. But here's the thing now, Heavenly. Now, y'all know I love Heavenly, okay? Heavenly cannot do any wrong in my eyes. I just love Heavenly. That's just what it is. She's very upfront. She says what nobody else will say. And hey, it's good for the show. It's very, very good for the show. I love it because I'm a person that speak my mind too. And I say a lot of times what nobody else will say. And so I love it. I love Heavenly for that. She keeping it real. She set her boundaries. She is not going to discuss her family and her husband. She only gonna put out there what she want to put out, and the people are mad about that. And they don't like her because of that. Oh well, she drew her line in saying y'all should have did the same. Her marriage is not up for sale. So I love Heavenly. So anyway, she wants to play a game of Town Hall. Oh, I say that to say this. Town Hall, Heavenly, no, that's not the place on the boat. But I get it. Is in the middle of a campaign. Um, so I get it. I get it. I get it. Dr. Brandy, she was concerned. Her concern was with your history on reality TV. As a reality TV star, arguing and yelling. Um, how was that gonna come off to the people in the district? how can I word this without going too far into this? I'll say this. Some people that are currently there, they've been on reality TV. And even though they didn't do certain things on reality TV, they have done certain things in present day. So what you mean? Because she's been on reality TV yelling. Some people are doing worse than that. They flash back and they show her saying, "Your mama, your mama." Y'all know that's Heavenly's favorite thing to do. Your mama, your mama. Oh well, she said it. She wasn't on there throwing hands. So this is the thing with me. Our people, our people. We gotta do better. We've got to do better because when it comes to support of our people for things that they're doing, ambitions and things that they have going on, we're so quick to try to find every little flaw in their situations. But others, including some currents, you don't call them out. You don't have that smoke for them. Pretty much like Wendy said about Angel when it came to Kiana. You didn't have that smoke for her, but you had all the smoke for me. You didn't have that smoke for Giselle, but you had all the smoke for me about the whole catfish. That's how I feel. Some of our people are so quick to want to tear down the other one and have all the smoke in the world for us instead of being uplifting and encouraging us in that moment. You're so quick to tear down. What does it matter? Okay. Now, let me tell you something. I named the ones Kiana, Angel, Tia. Go away from Real Housewives of Potomac. Yeah, from Real Housewives of Potomac. But Married to Medicine, Dr. Brandy, yeah, you can go too. Because you're a Toya bandwagon person. I see that right now. She stands for Toya. So yeah, you can go away too. Thank you. Thank you for your service, Shauna O'Neal. Thank you for your service. She can go away. Okay. Because what does it matter? And here go Dr. Simone and the thing. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Let me tell you something. If y'all don't stop, okay, this is a PSA. Stop with this whole clock it, clock it. I'm so tired. That I'm so tired of people doing that. It is played out. Y'all take some shit and y'all will run with it. Not all y'all, the crown kings and queens, because we're way too royal to be carried on like that. Okay, but all these other people, all that clock it, clock it, clock it. I'm so tired of that. I don't do that shit. I do not do it. It looks stupid. Like, stop. Please stop it, okay? And Simone on there talking about clock it, Brandy, clock it. She didn't clock nothing. Only thing she did was get clocked. It showed us what a hater you are. So stop it. And then so Heavenly says, well, that does not matter. I'm not a felon. You know what I'm saying? She's not. Take that as you wish. Now, Heavenly. Now, Heavenly knows she was burnt out calling Quad by the last name Lunsford. You know that woman has not been Lunsford in so many years. But listen, if y'all didn't clock it, did y'all see Heavenly with that cup in her hand? I'm sure she has some Crown Royal in there. So we're gonna excuse Heavenly on that. I'm sure it was talking. Oh, so yeah, but Quad last name ain't Lunsford, but Quad took it in all and took it in good spirit. So that was good. Real friendship. Now, Dr. Jackie, where Heavenly said what she said about Miss Quad, you said that statement that you made about Miss Quad. Now that was shady. When the Heavenly was asked who she looks up to, and she named Miss Quad, that's when she got her name wrong. Dr. Jackson said she was expecting Heavenly to say Jasmine Crockett or Kamala Harris, former Vice President Kamala Harris, so on and so forth. But she said Miss Quad. Now that was shady, Miss Jackie, Dr. Jackie. Now see, y'all don't pay attention, Dr. Dr. Jackie. She throws some low key shade in there on you. real fast. But she said it's so sweet that you tend to look past it. But yeah, it was shady, Dr. Jackie. Um, but let me tell you something. When it comes to Toya, I can agree with Toya. I have this kind of thing with Toya, and it's so crazy, right? I have kind of a back and forth. I don't know. I wouldn't call it love hate because I don't hate anybody, but I don't know. I have this thing with Toya. Sometimes she annoys me, and sometimes she is so hilarious. Like I told y'all earlier, the vodka Toya hilarious. Sometimes Toya is on point with some things she said. And it's so crazy. Toya is an Aries, right? Okay, let me tell y'all a little something off topic. Toya is an Aries. I'm a Sagittarius. We're both fire signs. So some things may be a little bit similar, not all, but some things are similar. And Aries and Sagittarius tend to mesh well together. But when we clash, we clash. Now, it's so crazy because somebody in my personal life, and they know who they are, they have the same name, Toya, and they're Aries as well. And we have that kind of relationship at times. We be the best of friends, and when we clash, we clash. So that's the Aries and Sagittarius kind of thing, okay? But yeah, she's the Aries, and she's somewhere really like Toya. Go figure. And her name is Toya. Anyway, um, but yeah, so um Toya was right. I can get with her on that. The game, even though I can see where Dr. Heavenly was going with that, it was not the time or the place for that. Because it would have killed my vibe too, especially if I'm trying to have some drinks. I tend not when I'm having drinks and seriously drinking my Crown Royal, I don't want to have serious conversations about certain things because it's gonna just I don't know. It's just not the time and the place for it. I get it. Especially when we're at that point. We on the yacht, it's feeling good. We're out here, sunset cruise. We're just not trying to talk about that. But I get it. I feel like this. I feel like part of me feels like Heavenly did it because she knew that this something would be said and popped off and it would eventually lead to an argument. And if you guys have been paying attention throughout this season, Heavenly has tried her best. I will not say she is perfect. She has tried her best to stray away from certain arguments and saying certain things as the Dr. Heavenly in past seasons would have said or done because she is on this political journey. So I feel like she brought that up partly for that reason to kind of stop it before it even started, an argument, potential argument. And also I feel like it was a bit performative, but in a good way for her campaign because even though Dr. Heavenly is well known around the world, she's worldwide. Or even in her district, she's still people are going to watch the show, and some people are not just going to watch it for the shock value that is Dr. Heavenly or for the entertainment value that is Dr. Heavenly. They're going to watch it to see what she says about the campaign and things that she plans on doing, if she is no, when she is elected into office, Congresswoman. So yeah. So I feel like, like I said, I understand it and I get it. Even though it would not have worked for me. And I do agree with Toya, it really was not the time for that, but I get it. All right. So anyway, they move along and they're at the house. They get back to the house next day, final day, and they're talking about Toya in charge of the Met Gala. So the girls, Dr. Jackie, they put Toya in charge of the Met Gala. So historically, you guys, that Dr. Jackie has somewhat been in charge of that, but I feel that they're trying to give Miss Toya a taste of her own medicine and let her take over it this year because the last 2 years, she really did not contribute according to the girls. She did not put any energy in it when she maybe felt like that it was about Dr. Jackie and not her. Versus all the other ladies, they did do their part in it because they understood that it was a collective gala. It was not just about Dr. Jackie. It was about the whole collective, about the whole medical community. And so they did their part, but Tori, she did not. Mm. Um, so yeah, they put her in charge to pretty much give her a taste of her own medicine. And now Toya is on this power trip, and she wants everybody to participate. Well, they're sitting at the table and they're about to get into it, but then Quad stops her, and Quad, tells the lady about her fertility journey and how her embryos, how it was not successful. Now you guys know Quad has been quadding her then boyfriend King. They've been going back and forth to Ghana um for fertility treatments and appointments to try to get her pregnant. But she discusses with the girls how this last round of IVF, it did not go through, it did not take. And she was very, very upset and crying. So I really felt bad for her in that moment. But what we're currently seeing in the blogs, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't want to sound insensitive when I say this because I'm not. I like Miss Squad. Miss Squad, she got it, she got it, she does. I like Miss Squad. But I would say this, everything happens for a reason. And while we don't always understand the reason when we're in the moment, later on, we definitely understand. And then again, if you've been watching the blogs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. But we have not gotten there on the show, so we ain't gonna get there yet. Okay. But everything happens for a reason. So prayers to Miss Quad on that. On her fertility journey. All right. So, like I said, Quad stopped them in the moment. She started talking about that. And so anyway, the girls get back to Atlanta. They leave me. They were in Miramar, Florida. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Or did I say it? But they were in Miramar. And so the whole scene with King and Quad, when they were in the house together, and again, this kind of goes back to what I was just alluding to. It seemed very, very awkward. To me, he seemed very sarcastic when it came to her. And even though he said he was just playing, it just did not seem appropriate for the moment. And Miss Quad said in her confessional that she felt like the energy in the relationship has pretty much shifted. That in my mind made me wonder, could that be the reason? She said in there that when she told him that she wanted to hold off for a few months on the fertility IVF journey. Y'all remember in the beginning, she was like aggressive with it, like she was in it, like let's not stop, let's keep going, let's keep the momentum going. But to me, when she said that, it stood out to me for some reason. And it made me feel like, did she already know what was about to go down? Had it already gone down at that moment of her confessional? But when she said it, let's wait, was she already feeling that? I don't know. It made me wonder. I mean, it may not be relevant. That's her business, but it just made me wonder. Like, was she feeling it like, it's about to go down? So let's just hold off for a few months. Again, everything happens for a reason. If not, everything happens for a reason. Um, Now the girls going to Derek Blanks. Y'all remember him, photographer Derek Blanks? He shoots some awesome videos. I'm telling you, one day you heard it here first. I want him to shoot some of me. I want to get in work with him. I want to get with him, work with him on some not get with him, but work with him on some photos. Cause Derek Blanks is the truth. Okay. I have not seen anybody else that can compare. A black man in Atlanta, he's the truth. He's been doing it for years. Y'all remember him? What season was it? I can't remember, but it was the season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. You remember he did Candy, he did their alter ego photo shoot. Derek Blanks has he that dude when it comes to photography. I have not seen anybody that compares to date. Show me somebody else out there that can compare, but for the moment, no. Derek Blanks is it. Okay. But anyway, they go to Derek Blanks studio for Dr. Jackie's scrub line. Now it seems like everybody in Atlanta got a scrub line. Did Dr. Jackie have the scrub line when they were at Angel's scrub line a couple of episodes ago? Or did she just come up with this? Maybe she was like Stacy and she decided not to say anything until it actually came into fruition. Smart move, Dr. Jackie. I think a lot of us could take a lesson out of that book. Stop talking about things before they actually happen. Just let the people see it, including myself. So, but Dr. Jackie's jumpsuit, I mean her scrub line jumpsuits, they were cute. That whole jumping, they were doing the photo shoot where Dr. Jackie is standing there. Y'all go follow Derek Blanks on Instagram and you can kind of see how he does his pictures, his videos. They're amazing. And so he was the thing is Dr. Jackie, she's supposed to be standing there and she throws the scrubs and the other girls jump into them, but y'all know using AI, whatever they use to make it seem like they were just there and she threw them and then came on. Y'all know how all that goes. I ain't getting into that. But yeah, it cute. I love it. Her jumpsuits, her scrubs. Oh, those are very, very cute. The girls are going to love those. But yeah, so Dr. Heavenly and Quad and all of them were there. It was so cute. I loved it. So anyway, they get into the conversation. Toya want to have a powwow. Let me tell y'all something. I was just about to forget about this. Not Miss Quad saying, Dr. Heavily, she should be for a trash bag commercial. Cause she looked like she always making the face like something stink. That was hilarious. That was hilarious to me. I'm telling you. So funny. But we know it was coming from a good place because they were really good friends. But Miss Quad, no, she burnt out for that one. That was funny. But anyway, Toya wants to have a powwow and they talking about the roles that everybody has been assigned. And Quad calls out Toya. Because Toya now she want to apologize and say how she's sorry because she want these women to support her in a way that she did not support them in the past two Met Galas. But now because she's in charge of the Met Gala, she wants them to support her. And so now, conveniently, Miss Toya wants to apologize. And so Quad calls her out. Like, who didn't give they $2,500 when you're a millionaire? That's like throwing a damn penny in a bucket. You don't care into one of them wishing wells. You don't care about that $2,500. But Miss Toya didn't give hers. And it's not because they didn't have the money, because I wouldn't believe that if you told me that. It was because she was just being petty and she did not want to support because, again, it was not about her. But now that it's about her, she wants everybody to jump on her bandwagon and she wants to apologize and say, okay, y'all, let's work together. That's not how it always works. You didn't support me while I'm supporting you. So Miss Quad called her out. Like, how about what if we just don't support you this round and then we pick back up next round? I see nothing wrong with that. Um, I see nothing wrong with that. Um, Toya says she's the CFO, Chief Financial Officer of this, excuse me, y'all, of this whole Met Gala situation. Mm. Heavenly disagrees. So does a lot of us. We disagree. That's maybe not your lane, Miss Toya. I don't know. Now, Toya might be a good salesman because wasn't she in medical sales before this? So I don't know. I wouldn't say she needs to handle the checkbook, like Dr. Heavenly said, to pay the bills per se. But I think she would be able to bring the donors in. Because Toya does have a very charming personality, and I think she could really bring the donors in. So yeah, I would have to say, yeah, I would have to say Toya would be perfect for it. She would be perfect to be the person to bring the donors in, but chief financial officer, no. Mm-mm, no, 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 no. Well, y'all, again, Dr. Heavenly did not agree, and she want to make Miss Quad the secretary, not the secretary from Miss Quad. Not the secretary. I can see Miss Quad now sitting there typing and taking directions. No, no, she knows Toya. Come on now, you just being petty as hell. You know daggone well Miss Quad is not about to be nobody's assistant or be the secretary. Come on now, you playing. But like I said, Dr. Heavenly does not agree. And because she does not agree, and Dr. Jackie just sitting there, Dr. Jackie was with Toya, okay, in the episode when they came up with this. And Toya said, well, Jackie agreed, or Dr. Jackie said, whatever. Dr. Heavenly called Dr. Jackie out, put her ass on blast. Jackie, you didn't say that before. You told me that Toya was very, very difficult to work with and very unprofessional. Now here go Dr. Jackie. She's trying. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I don't say that. Dr. Jackie. You ain't say it. Now y'all know y'all can call Heavenly loud. Y'all can call. Y'all can say Heavenly, go back and tell what you say. Y'all can call her any of that. But one thing has not been proven to date. Dr. Heavenly has not lied. And she has, drop down in the comments and let me know. So that way I can go back and I can reflect on that and we'll call it out when we see it. But today, she has not lied. Maybe don't tell y'all all of her business when it comes to her marriage and her kids, but she ain't lied thus far. Not in my opinion, okay? So, Dr. Jackie might need to own up to that one. But anyway, and also, that's the thing. Even if Dr. Jackie did say that, or even if she didn't, let me ask y'all something. For y'all, does it reiterate with them saying, do not tell Heavenly anything? Or do y'all think Heavenly is just the person to call you out and hold you accountable for the BS that you say? For me, I feel that she is. She just calls you out. She calls it. Okay. You tried to play like you had nothing to do with it. You want to throw rocks and hide your hands, Dr. Jackson. So let me go ahead and call you out real quick. We can still be friends, but I'm gonna call you out on your BS because you said it. So don't get with this person and say one thing and then get with me and say something different. Because hey, Dr. Jackie, this is a little advice going forward. She's such a sweet lady too, and very beautiful. Y'all ain't never noticed that Dr. Jackie is so beautiful. Man, that hair for her is everything, and she can dress her ass off. Great style. But this is a lesson that I always live by. I don't say nothing if I can't back it up. If I can't back it up, if I'm ever confronted about it, okay? Anything I said once, I will say it twice. Okay. And then we're gonna have to do whatever comes after that, is just gonna have to come after it. Because if I said it once, I will say it twice. And that's a lesson to a lot of people. Say what you mean what you say, and be willing to repeat it if you repeat it once. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching my episode of Crown by Kansas. This live episode recap of Real Housewives of Potomac, season 10, reunion part 1, Married to Medicine. Thank y'all for sticking. If you stuck through it, I saw some people drop off. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, I'm just humble and I'm happy for whatever I can get. If I can get one view, thank you. If I can get a replay crew that's gonna come back in and watch this, thank you. If y'all have some critiques on the video, be respectful. But listen, if you put that and drop down in the comment and you still subscribe and share, I appreciate that as well. If you want to give me some feedback. Thank you so much again. Like I told y'all, this was my first episode back after a while of not being live and trying to perfect my podcast, Cocktails with Kenzie, the podcast on YouTube, Cocktails with Kenzie, or Crown by Kenzie presents Cocktails with Kenzie on all podcast platforms. I've been so busy trying to perfect that and coming up with different ways. And you guys, I asked one thing from y'all going forward, right? I am but a one man show. I don't have any fancy producers, any fancy camera people. I'm doing all of this by myself. So some things may not be perfect, some things just might not be on time, but that's the importance of subscribing. So that way, on both Crown by Kenzie, which is our flagship, this is what started it all, and Cocktails with Kenzie, the podcast, and also my website, crownedbykenzie.com. One thing you can rest assured, I'm not going to give up and I'm going to keep on keeping on. Y'all have a good night. I'm about to finish up the rest of my Cabernet and take my ass to bed. Good night. Bye, y'all. And thank everybody for watching in advance. Take care.